Greetings, students and friends. Once again, this is Stan Hustad with our update, perhaps a connection. Now, I've been late. I usually try and do this to many of you who join us once a week, but I've been very busy doing two things. First of all, a lot of companies ask me to do what I suggest some of you learn to do, is they ask me to make presentations on behalf of their company. And I record these and send these all over the world. Along with that, I'm also, obviously, as many of you know, I'm an online teacher. And on many of the platforms around the world, I am the teacher. And I've got many classes and courses, and many of you are those people who, thank you very much, have decided to join me on those classes and courses. And many of you are watching this for the first time because you just signed up for one of our classes and courses. And to, well, a couple thousand of you who are brand new, I certainly welcome you. Now, today I want to do something a little bit differently. As you oftentimes may suspect, I'm pretty much of a free spirit and I don't have a fancy script in front of me. I speak from my heart and my head. But today I'm going to do a little bit of reading, so I'm going to change my long distance glasses and put on my reading glasses that help me read up close. Unfortunately, they have a little more glare than I like, but hopefully you'll forgive me for that. Now, the reason is I'd like to read to you an article that I put together just today, and it has two major issues that I think might be important for you to know. Now, one of the things those of you who know me and have had me for a while know that I truly believe that unless you get radio and television training, you will not be successful in the 21st century. It is so vital that you know how to use radio and television and internet, YouTube, Vimeo, media to be successful. And I'm encouraging you to do that. That's why I have a couple classes on it, and we have even more to help you coming up. Now, what I wrote about was, it doesn't say what it takes, it says WIT radio. That is because we're starting an internet radio station, and perhaps you can even be a part of it. Not just a listener, but perhaps even a contributor. Now, here's what I wrote. And by the way, if you'd like to get, this comes out 2 or 3 times a week, go to stanhustad.com, stanhustad.com, and you can sign up there. Or just send me an email at stan@stanhustad.com, stan@stanhustad.com, and say, Stan, sign me up. Here's what I wrote. Last week in the Wall Street Journal, which is a major business publication in the United States, it said that most traditional radio and television stations, even the big ones like what we know of as National Public Radio, are having a hard time. Less and less people are listening to the radio. Why? Because they are listening to internet radio. They are listening to music on the radio, but they're listening not on a radio, but on their smartphone, on their iPad, on their tablet. You know what's happening. And as a result, less and less people are buying and using radios. And more and more people are simply listening not just to the radio go and go and go. They're listening specifically to a program that they want to listen to because it meets their particular needs. It's about what they want to listen to, and they can listen to it not when it's convenient for the radio station to put it on or the television station to put it on the channel. You can listen to it anytime you want. Now, that's happening, and that is why I continue to remind you that will be so important that you, as part of your career training, need to say, yes, I know how to be on the radio. Yes, I know how to be on video. I have learned the broadcasting, the radio and television principles, practices, and performances. I know how to be on the air. And I have a couple classes. We're going to have more, but I encourage you to get that kind of training. Now, after that, and by the way, you're going to find out more about this, and you literally can not only be a listener to What It Takes Radio, you can be a contributor. And that goes into the story. So with a little personal permission, can I read you a family story? Singing in the rain, the courage to find your voice. It is one of the fun memories for our family. At that time, I was living and working in Europe, and I had won an appointment for a training session in broadcasting with the BBC, the British Broadcasting Corporation. And my wife Karen had arranged for a long weekend vacation and a holiday time and brought the family to meet me in London where I was studying. And she had also arranged for our family to go to one of the great shows on the London West End. One of the shows we were seeing was the classic old play and film Singing in the Rain. Many of you have seen it or heard about it, or maybe some of you have even been in that play. Well, it was wonderful. Literally in one scene, the stage, they had a rainstorm. I mean, I don't know how they did it, but it just poured rain right on the stage there in that London theater. And they were doing that as the lead song, called Singing in the Rain, was performed. As we were leaving the theater, going into the crowded London street scene, there was a slight drizzle. And as we walked out, our youngest daughter, who was at her most precocious and less self-conscious stage, started running down the street, up and down the street in London, and shouting, "I'm singing in the rain, I'm singing in the rain." Something like that. The London street crowd stopped. They smiled, laughed, and they watched as this little 7-year-old girl put on her show. Of course, she'd probably never do such a thing anymore. After all, you know, we have to grow up. But at that time, interestingly, she was full of courage, didn't have any fear, so she just sang out. Now, I often remember that London evening as a sign of the dilemma that many of us face. We do not have the courage to perform, to find our voice, to let people know what we are thinking, to sing out. Now, today, that's exactly what I'm doing right now as I teach. I'm encouraging many people to write, to speak, to teach online, just like I do. Be on the radio. Be on television. Create videos and share your stories and wisdom with one another. In other words, to find your voice. The thing you were made to speak and say. So please do that. If you want to make these things happen, influence, impact, and greater income. That's true. Influence, impact, and greater income. You're going to have a strong, powerful voice in terms of knowing who you are, what you believe, and how you can help people. Would you please do that? Then I conclude by saying this. As one wise teacher said to me many years ago, most people die with their music still inside of them. That's right. It's time to get a coach, find your voice, and do your show. Because it's raining outside. And it's time for you to be on stage. I mean that powerfully. I want you not just to sit and know something that you learn in one of my classes or courses or of the other fine classes and courses. I want you to have the power and the performing ability to go out and be a teacher, be a leader, be a performer, learn how to use the modern media to build your business and build your career, and you too will get not 100 followers on Facebook. I want you to have 100,000 followers who are students and friends around the world. And I'd like to help you do that. In fact, I would love to help you do that. In fact, that's the mission for the rest of my life. So keep listening, keep taking courses, and perhaps you will even listen to What It Takes Radio. That's my challenge. And one of the best ways is to keep learning. If you want to be one of those people, you've got to keep learning all the time. There are brand new things. Today, I spent a good deal of yesterday learning how to do something with my video that's going to make me far more effective, a better teacher and a video performer because of something I've learned. And it took me a good day and a half to learn it, but it's going to be really helpful. So even at my advanced age, I'm learning brand new things. Now I'm going to encourage you. I have a new class. It's free for a few days, and then it goes back to the regular price, but it's simply called, Have a Great Voice. And it's not the voice that you literally have as purpose and plan, but the voice you actually talk about, the voice you use, the one that I use. And I've had lots of training, both in radio and television, public speaking, and I've taught lots of people how to do that. And so I have a course for you on how to improve the power of your voice. And your voice makes a difference. Your voice can make or break your career. I mean that. Your voice matters, and then how to improve your personal presence. And I hope you will take that course. Along with that, there's a new course called How to Be a Master Marketer. Now, you don't have to be a marketing genius, but you're going to have to learn the basics of marketing yourself. And that's one of the things I want to help you do. So there we go. I hope you'll take some time to think about these things. I'd love to hear from you. Please take advantage of all the things that are available and think about that. Think about what I just challenged you to do to improve your presence, your performance, and your voice, and then be able to find your voice in terms of what you are really called to speak and teach and lead people all about in the world today. I don't want you just to be someone who follows. I want you to be someone who other people follow because you have ethics and character and you have great content, and people know that when they hang around you and work with you and do business with you, they will be better off because they work and buy and do business with you. I want that to happen. So, all the best and blessings to you. Let's keep in touch, and until next time, bye for now.